You got to slow down because you're talking so fast. I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'll have to sue the courthouse for a hundredfold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the,
you got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that.
Unless you are a price on a can of beans, we don't need a barcode.
All right, guys. Today we've got an absolute heater here. Judge Oakley is back, and as usual, he's putting this sovereign citizen in his place. I seriously love Judge Oakley. I think he handles these sovereign citizens the best, better than anyone else, honestly. But today, this dude is in court for assaulting his girlfriend. And of course, he's pulling all the usual sovereign citizen nonsense. Like, when are these guys gonna learn, honestly? I don't even know, but let me know while you guys watch. What do you think this clown's IQ is? Because I've got a feeling it's not too high. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive in and watch this explosive hearing unfold.
Mr. Bowditch, are you ready on Goodman?
Well, Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Goodman. Mr. Goodman asked me to tell you that the prosecutor in this case has no power of attorney over him. He's an Israelite. There's no grounds under the bar code. This matter should be dismissed. I believe he may want to represent himself. You may ask for some clarification if you talk to Mr. Goodman, but that's what he told me to tell you.
Thank you. Mr. Goodman, are you requesting that you represent yourself on this matter? You're muted, Mr. Goodman.
What I'm saying is nobody has power of attorney law over me through the barcode. I'm the beneficiary. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said, because that's what the law is. I got common law jurisdiction. It's a non-violent crime. So I push for it to be dismissed under the barcode.
Well, it's not going to be dismissed today. So simple question. Are you representing yourself from this point forward? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm counseling myself.
All right. Mr. Bowditch, you're out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I said, are you planning on filing a motion, or would you like to set this case for trial?
I'm planning on filing a motion to dismissal because there's no grounds or no standing over my case, because nobody has power of attorney law to hear me, to even take this process even further. You got to prove that first. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me to hear this matter.
Okay,
I'm an Israelite.
You're saying, but you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. You don't have power of attorney law. The prosecutor don't have power of attorney law. You don't have power of attorney law. It's under the barcode.
Mr. Goodman, please do not interrupt me. I'm trying to be polite.
Okay, it's under the barcode though. This is what you signed up to do. You're a public servant. So
right, unless you are a price on a can of beans, we don't need a barcode.
Yes, I am. I'm a human being. I'm not a deity. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that. It's under the barcode. Okay. This is the real law.
Come
here. Yeah, no standing or no ground.
Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date for your motion.
I'm only here to threaten cohesion.
Pardon me?
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. Do you agree?
Oh, so this guy wants all of his rights intact at all times? Even the made-up ones, like the so-called right to drive without a license? That's just not how this works. I mean, the government literally regulates driving because it's a privilege, not a right. It's a basic legal fact. But here's the real kicker. He's claiming to be an Israelite. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but this honestly feels like a weak attempt to avoid being labeled as a sovereign citizen. In the US, these sovereign citizens have already been classified as a terrorist organization, and suddenly now he's got a brand new identity. It's just almost too convenient. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it sure looks to me like he's just trying to sidestep the consequences of the nonsense he's spewing here. Let me know what you guys think about that, but let's dive back in.
I can't understand what you're saying. I think you're too close to your mic.
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. Do you agree?
I can't understand you, so no, I don't agree. I hear you're something
okay,
all the time.
I want my rights intact to me at all times. I want all my rights intact to me all the time.
All right, I can't understand you.
Okay.
Are you still living on border? Are you still living on Border? Mr. Goodman, are you still living on Border?
Ashley, keep yourself muted, please. Your child keeps crying. Thank you.
No, I live somewhere else. I moved.
All right, can you give me that address, please?
I stay at hotel rooms from time to time because I don't have no house right now. So I've been staying in hotel rooms.
Geographically, where are you at today?
Detroit, Michigan.
All right. So my next pretrial date is when, Heather?
It is March 8th.
All right. So Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date on March 8th to file a motion. You file a motion, we'll hear it on March 8th. That's going to be in person.
Motion for dismissal?
Whatever you want to file a motion. You said you wanted to file a motion. So I'm giving you a hearing date for your motion.
What time?
We'll schedule that at 10 a.m. and this is going to be live. No Zoom.
All right.
I'm having trouble
All right. I
with the
want
audio.
all my rights and text me all the time.
Pardon
I'm
me?
only here to threaten confusion. I just want all my rights and text me all the times. And everybody just got to prove that they got power of attorney
Hold on a
left.
minute. You got to slow down because you're talking so fast I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
Okay, what I'm saying is for the dismissal, I'm about to put it in today. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'm going to have to sue the courthouse for 100-fold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the
You got to
eighth, we'll
prove
listen to your motion.
you
If
got to
you're not
prove
here
that you
on the
got
eighth,
power of
we'll issue a
attorney law over me. You don't have power. I don't care what you're talking about.
attorney over you, Mr. Goodman. Listen
Yes,
to
you
me.
do. You need power of attorney law to talk to me. You ain't got no ground. You ain't no standing. You ain't got no ground to understand it. I got the affidavit of truth right here. I got authenticate birth certificate. I got a letter of intent over here right now. I broke all my contracts with the government. I'm not those capital letters. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. My name is Israel. I'm an Israelite. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. You don't got no power of attorney law over me. I'm pushing for dismissal. I'm suing your courthouse for 100-fold.
Here we go again. This sovereign citizen is threatening to sue the court for $100,000. Like that's ever worked for anybody. The reality is you can't sue the court for doing its job. Like, these people are just so stupid. If you guys didn't know, judges have something called judicial immunity, which protects them from lawsuits over decisions they make in court. So every single time one of these idiots tries to pull the I'm suing you card, it's just a complete waste of time. But what really baffles me is how these idiots always commit crimes, then they suddenly act clueless when they're caught. I swear this has to be one of the lowest level of intelligence this country has ever seen. And honestly, it's a little terrifying because it feels like the US is getting dumber and dumber every single year. But don't leave yet because we are about to head into his next hearing, where he's sitting in jail because, shocker, he missed his own court date.
Try it again, counsel. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Your Honor. Patricia Manning for the people, P84088.
All right. And Mr. Goodman, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Murphy, what are we doing on these files?
Judge, it's my understanding that Mr. Goodman has an appointment at the Forensic Center on January 31st. As Your Honor knows, he has pending cases in Frank Murphy. He went before Judge Michael Callahan yesterday. He was, his bond was reinstated with a tether. I believe Your Honor has put a 250, 10% bond on Mr. Goodman. You know, Your Honor, that I'm going to ask you to reduce that bond to something affordable.
All right. So I've got two files. One file's got that 250, 10% with a GPS tether. That would be the February 5, 2022 incident date. And then the other file, which is the misdemeanor file from May 10, 2019, he's just on a personal on that one with a GPS tether.
Right. And you know, Your Honor, that I don't represent him on the DV.
Right. But he finally does have a date for a forensic exam?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So you just want to adjourn the PCC?
Yes, Judge. And ask for a reduction in bond.
Thank you. And Mr. Goodman, have you talked to an attorney on the domestic violence case, or are you representing yourself on that one?
I have nobody to represent me. I think it was Lanford or something was supposed to be my attorney. I'm not sure how it went south.
Okay. All right, counsel, go ahead and make your bond argument, but before you do, just so we're all on the same page, my notes say it's 25,000, 10%, no contact with complaining victim, and GPS tether. Is that your understanding?
So Judge, I thought it was 250,000, 10%,
It is.
25,000.
I don't know what I just said, but
Oh.
my file says 250, well, yeah, 250,000, 10%, correct.
So Judge, I mean, obviously that's unaffordable. Mr. Goodman is not a man of means.
Who could have guessed that? Just by looking at this guy's face, I'd guess he has a whopping $2 and a Tootsie Roll in his piggy bank. And of course, it's not shocking at all that the public defenders want nothing to do with this guy. I mean, public defenders are required by law to represent people who can't afford an attorney, but even they can refuse a case if there's a conflict of interest, or if the client is completely impossible to work with. So even if the court-appointed lawyers are noping out, you just know this guy is a disaster. And let's not forget too, this isn't just some normal traffic violation. He's got a whole domestic violence charge too for beating his woman. In case he forgot, that's a real crime with real consequences, and no amount of fake legal jargon is getting him out of this one, so it just goes to show what an evil person he really is. Let's dive back in.
He and his significant other just acquired new housing, Your Honor. They have a baby. Mr. Goodman needs to be there to assist with childcare responsibilities because both of them were working before Mr. Goodman was taken into custody. I know we've had some issues, Your Honor, with appearing in court. Mr. Goodman has had transportation issues with respect to getting to the forensic center, and that was his issue, Judge. The tether violation was simply a malfunction of equipment. So I would ask Your Honor to, and since they do not have means, Your Honor, I would ask Your Honor to reduce I'm asking Your Honor for a personal with the tether.
Response.
Um,
And counsel, you don't have to jump up to talk to me. I know it's instinctive, but it's okay if you don't.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is instinctive. Your Honor, in this case, he is before us for a misdemeanor DV. I understand he does have some pending felonies. I understand he's on a GPS tether for the felonies. I believe at this time, the most important thing is that he remain on, or that if he is released, he remains on a GPS tether. So in this case, I would not object to a personal bond.
All right. Ms. Murphy, unfortunately, this is one of those situations where I don't care what the parties think, because I've got a long history. This building's got a long history with Mr. Goodman not showing up in court. So I set the bond for that reason. I'm keeping the bond as it is for that reason.
I freaking love Judge Oakley, guys. You could just tell he's a genuinely good guy who does not put up with the nonsense. Like, even when both parties agreed to let this clown walk free, Judge Oakley was not having it. He knew exactly what to do and hit this guy with a harsh dose of reality. And honestly, that's what a good judge should do. Let me know what you guys thought about that case in the comments. I thought it was very good, and honestly, it's just so refreshing to watch Judge Oakley. And I really enjoyed that last part there, but we're about to dive into another court hearing with Judge Boyd. Things get very heated, and this young defendant decides it's a great idea to backtalk the judge. And he's just talking in slang, being all cool and stuff. It's just not working out for him. Let's go ahead and dive in and see how that plays out for him.
All right, why were you late for court?
I really don't got an excuse. Besides, I got insomnia.
I'm sorry, what?
I really don't got an excuse, but I got insomnia.
He overslept, Judge.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
All right, so here's the thing. You need to be on time for court. Otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? Whether you're 20 or 18, guess what? We'll make sure that you come on time. If you're not on time, we'll know where you are. You know how we'll know that?
Got my address.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, y'all got my address.
No, because you'll be in Orange and we'll bring you over from the jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
In school?
Yes.
10th grade.
All right, why did you only go to the 10th grade?
I dropped out
Why?
because there was like a lot of drama.
All right, so let me explain to you about drama. Drama is you coming before the court and not addressing the court properly. Drama is using slang and not proper English coming before the court. So my advice is you probably want to get your GED so that you can get a job, because now it is hard to get good employment without at least a high school diploma. And even if you have a high school diploma, it's still hard. Guess what? People who go to college, and I'm not talking to people who go to college and they're getting a degree in philosophy, finding a job. I mean, people who are going to college, getting a degree in engineering, biology, they're all having a hard time finding employment. So you come along and you don't even have a 10th grade education and you're trying to get employment, it does not look good. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed?
I was employed.
So that's a no, right? You're not working?
No, ma'am.
So that means that your mom or somebody is supporting you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you come back here on the 27th, you're going to come on time and you're going to address the court properly. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. We have an excuse?
Yes. Once you sign the reset form.
I just had to throw in that last clip because I just thought it was pretty interesting that somebody would be bold enough to talk to the judge like they would talk to their friends. Like, seriously, you can't just roll up in court and start acting like you're hanging out at a bar with your buddies. But anyways, the main thing I really want to talk about is the previous case with the sovereign citizen. This dude was screaming on Zoom the first time around, which, by the way, has got to be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. You can't be in court acting like that, especially when it's online. And honestly, I think these sovereign citizens should be forced to appear in person. There's just something about seeing them face to face that makes it a lot harder for them to pull out all the drama they do from behind the screen. It's easy to be tough when you're hiding behind your computer, but in person, they'd have to face the consequences of their actions. And to my other point, it just really feels like the judges are getting softer these days. Like, I get it, we all want to be fair and give people a chance, but there's a fine line between being fair and being too lenient. There are some cases where these sovereign citizens need a real wake-up call, not more chances to make a fool of themselves in court. Judges need to stop letting these clowns drag out the process and just put their foot down. At the end of the day, they're the ones who hold the power to make sure people don't just waste everybody's time. Alright guys, that's going to be enough of my rant though. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this whole situation here. I just love reading your guys' comments, so let me know what you guys thought. Do you guys think Judge Oakley was being fair in that first court hearing there? Because honestly, I think it was more than fair. But if you guys enjoy content like this, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. I post every single day, so stay tuned guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care everyone.